Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping straight into a huge, exciting change in history. We're keeping things super simple today and focusing on just one main point: how a new discovery completely changed our understanding of the past. For decades, we thought we knew exactly how this story went, but recently, a tiny drop of ancient DNA changed everything. So let's dive right into this. Where do Japanese people come from? It's a very basic question, right? For a long time, people all over the world have wanted to know the roots of the people in Japan. Japan is a beautiful chain of islands, but being islands means it definitely wasn't easy to walk there in ancient times. So who took those first brave steps across the sea? How did they get there? And what kind of lives did they live? It really is a wonderful story of human travel and history. Section 1. The Big History Mystery. This island nation has a very long history, and for many years, scientists tried to solve this big mystery. They looked at old bones, ancient tools, and the remains of old towns to find the answer. They worked so hard to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and for a really long time, the answer seemed very simple. Honestly, if you opened a history book in a school 30 years ago, the story was very clear. Almost everyone believed this one simple story because it was the best answer we had at the time. It was exactly what teachers taught in schools everywhere. Section 2. The Old Two Groups. We used to call this the dual structure model. Dual just means two. The first group was the Jomon people. They were early hunters who lived deep in the forests thousands of years ago. They gathered food from nature, fished in the rivers, and hunted wild animals. They also made beautiful, thick pottery to cook their food. Then, much later, the Yayoi people arrived. They were early farmers. They brought a magical new plant called rice and simple metal tools to farm it. For decades, experts confidently said modern Japanese people were just a simple mix of exactly these two groups, the early hunters and the early farmers. It was a neat, easy story to remember. But science never stops moving forward. Recently, scientists started looking at ancient DNA, and they found a massive surprise. The old story of two groups, Jomon and Yayoi, was actually missing a huge piece. The new science revealed a third, completely unknown group in the DNA record, the Kofun. By looking at ancient DNA, scientists found a whole new piece of the human puzzle. We now know the story isn't just about two groups. There is a third part of the story that we literally didn't know before. Section 3. The New Three Groups. This discovery completely rewrites the history books. It means we have to move from a two-part history to a three-part history. Let's look at how this happens over time. First, around 14,000 BC, we have the Jomon time. These are the early hunters living quietly on the islands. A very long time passes. Next, around 300 BC, we see the Yayoi time, when the farmers arrive and start growing rice. But here is the exciting new discovery. Around 300 AD, a huge new event happens. The Kofun time begins. This new arrival changes everything we thought we knew about the people living on the islands. As the latest research reports say, the tripartite structure model of Jomon, Yayoi, and Kofun is now widely supported. Tripartite is just a big word for three parts. And this isn't just a guess. By checking the tiny instructions hidden in old bones, the DNA, scientists now have hard facts. Scientists studying ancient DNA all agree that this three-part model is the best and most accurate way to explain the history. It's amazing how much a tiny piece of ancient bone can tell us about our deep past. When you look at the DNA mix of people in Japan today, the numbers are truly shocking. The Kofun group isn't just a tiny piece of the puzzle. According to modern DNA science, a huge amount, nearly 70%, of modern Japanese DNA comes from this newly discovered third group. The Jomon and Yayoi groups are still there, of course, but the Kofun group plays a very, very big part in the DNA of modern people today. This is why the new science is so important. So, what exactly happened during the Kofun time? Well, it wasn't just a few small boats coming to the islands. It was a massive wave of thousands of new people arriving from the main continent of Asia. They crossed the sea and mixed with the Jomon and Yayoi people already living there. Because so many people arrived at once, they changed the future of the population forever. They started families, built new towns, and shared their lives. It was a really busy and exciting time of travel and mixing. And they didn't just bring their DNA. They brought powerful new technology. They knew how to make advanced iron. Iron is very strong, which meant they had much better tools for farming and stronger weapons for protection. They also brought new ways to build and make pottery. With these strong new skills, society grew very fast. People started living in larger, more organized groups. They even built big tombs for their leaders, which is actually where the name Kofun comes from. It was a time of great growth and new ideas. Section 4. Why this matters today. So why should we care about this today? Why does history from thousands of years ago matter to us right now? The crucial point is that history changes when we learn new things. Science never stops working. When we discover new facts hidden in ancient DNA, we learn that the human story is never simple. We're always moving, traveling, and mixing together. We are all connected in a deep, beautiful way. The past isn't just dead bones. It's alive inside of us right now. Our understanding of who we are grows every single day. Which really makes us wonder, what other old history facts will new DNA science rewrite next? What secrets are still hiding inside of us? As our technology gets better, we might find even more surprises in our genes. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. I hope you learned something new and exciting. Remember to always keep asking questions, and I'll see you next time.